guest, or our first guest, as the sexy vixen Naomi Clark on 90210. Yes. And now she's starring in a new mob movie. It's called First We Can Take Brooklyn. Take a look.
What's your deal?
I don't have a deal.
Everybody has a deal. What do you want out of life?
Every day above ground is a good day for me now.
Wow. That's a sad way to see things.
All depends on where you're looking, right?
Please welcome Annalynne McCord. Some shoe cam. Put your feet on those feet and look in the camera to model them.
Oh, yes.
They like to see everything. They heel height.
There they go.
The whole bit.
The height. Yeah, you got to see the height.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a good foot model, apparently.
So, but you are stunning like a model.
Thank you.
And, you know, I do see Michelle Pfeiffer in you. Very much so.
Thank you so much. Like, they used to tell my mom that, and that was like, when I got to around 25, I started to, you know, the baby fat started to go, the little puffer cheeks, and I was like, am I gonna get that? Am I gonna get what my mom always got with the cheekbones? I love Michelle, she's amazing.
Yeah. So, the movie, which I love a mob movie.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
So, the movie was shot here in New York?
It was shot here in New York, mostly in Brooklyn. So I spent a lot of time there, and I actually was kind of going back there because I lived in Williamsburg before it was Williamsburg.
Oh.
It was not cool. It wasn't hip and trendy. It was like, it was Brooklyn.
Wait, but you live in LA now?
I live in LA now.
But you're from?
I'm from Atlanta originally. Yeah, so I moved up here. So we filmed actually in a couple areas where I lived. I was in Grand Army for a little bit, so we filmed down in that area, and it was crazy. It was like, because we were doing night shoots, so like we had some, you know, some fun stuff going on in the alleyway next to us.
Right.
We're like, oh shit. Wrong direction. That's not where my trailer is. Go in the other direction. It was a lot of fun.
So how long was the shoot for the movie?
It was about a month and a half.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. It was so nice to be back in New York, see all my friends and everything.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
The interesting thing about Anna is that while she's from Atlanta, she grew up in a trailer park, and
yes, that's true.
Left home when she was 15.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How do your parents receive that?
I haven't told them yet. No, so there was a lot going on in our family. Parents were getting divorced. My older sister had kind of like peaced out at 16. There was a lot of craziness going on, and my parents were so young. I don't know what I would do if I'm like the friend when someone says they're pregnant. I'm like, I'm sorry? Yay! Yes!
Like, Kylie just had that baby and she's 20.
I would be like, oh, honey, no. Oh, cool.
Even with all the money, it's not, it's like...
You're guiding a human life. It is a person. You should have to have a license to be able to have a child. You have to have a license to drive a car. You should have to have a license to have a child, in my opinion. That's probably why I don't have one. But yeah, so I kind of snuck out.
So you leave for LA, but you can't even rent an apartment unless you
lie about your age, and there's Craigslist.
Okay, so...
Which is what happened.
And where'd you get the first, last, and security? Like, how'd all that go down?
Well, okay, so I did a few months, during the winter season, I was lucky enough to be able to do some modeling, and I saved every single penny of my... And I was like the kid who was like wheeling and dealing. I was like, I'll do your chores for 10 cents. Like, and I would do every chore, and then I would put interest on top, and they didn't really figure that out, my sisters. So I was always trying to make a buck, and I saved every single dime. I hustled. I ate some ramen noodles. I definitely ate some ramen noodles.
Yeah. So the 90210 cast, do you keep in touch with them? I recall our earlier conversation. Anna was here, I think, the first season of our show.
Yes. And I hate all of them. They're horrible people. No, that's a lie. I actually am, you know, it's really funny. Shanae and I, who played Annie, we were literally at each other's throats for 5 years. And the day before we wrapped, Shanae calls me and she's like, hey, I can't believe it's over. I'm like, bitch, Oh, am I allowed to say that?
No, but that's because, like, our conversation, I recall it because you felt bigger about yourself than you were on the set.
Yes, well, I mean, I felt
like you were the mean girl, and you regret it.
Yeah, you know, I just was removed from everything. I had social anxiety, and I didn't know it. So it makes you seem like a real little piece of work.
Yes. Yes.
But you know, Shanae and I, it was so funny. I ended up like we hashed it out the day before we wrapped all 5 years, and I ended up at her wedding in England, and now we're friends. We have dinner dates. Yeah, it's awesome. I love her.
Well, speaking of English weddings, Meghan Markle was on 90210. Giving a professional.
She was giving a professional.
Okay, talk about it.
Okay, so I was on the way here, and I was at the airport, and I missed my flight, and was having to go to another terminal, and TMZ was there, and like, it's crazy, and I didn't have my like, I am media trained, and I am not saying anything inappropriate. I didn't have that filter on, and they're like, so what about Meghan Markle? And I was like, wait, she was in 90210. I literally didn't know because I didn't actually work with her. She was cheating with my man. She was cheating with my man. The professional that you mentioned was happening on my dude.
Oh.
And so obviously,
and you walked in on it?
Actually Shanae's character Annie sees him in the car, and she's like, hi, and then Megan's head comes up and it's like, hi. I was like, get it, girl. I love it. I mean, she's taking on the role of a life. She's got to like, she's got to do the wave and the whole thing. So
she's like a
leading lady of. I mean, I told
quite the past.
I literally told Dustin, my co-star, I was like, you're like royalty, like 3 degrees of separation because of working. He's the actor who played my boyfriend at the time. So he, I was like, yeah, that makes me kind of cool, doesn't it? I was like a little bit cool.
Yeah, she's
the cool one. You're a little bit.
She applied for a job here too, so we feel like, yeah.
There you go. See?
A random princess.
Well, you're the real queen.
So,
I'm just saying. I said it on my story. I was like, I'm here with the queen.
So, loving your life.
You are the love of my life. I'm so happy to hear. No, I do not have a Valentine. So
I'm not asking about that corny day. That's for cornballs.
It is so cheesy, isn't it?
Please.
It's so cheesy.
I'm talking about, like, do you date?
I would love to. Anyone? I have been really crazy busy with work and stuff. But yeah, I've done a lot of things in my life. I'm 30 now, and I think it's time to try on the cougar role. Oh. You know what I mean? No? She's gonna go. That's a hard no.
Like a 23-year-old?
Or 24. Okay, I'm gonna take it from you that's not a good idea.
I'll be following.
Okay.
I'll be following, but you don't need all this juiciness to go to waste.
Yes,
So, tell us about your organization, Together One Heart.
Okay, thank you for asking. So this is my passion. I love acting. I love what I do. But Together One Heart is my passion. I took over as president in 2016. I've been working with the ground team in Cambodia for going on 9 years now. We fight human trafficking, and there's all my babies! Yay! See, I don't have to give birth to children. I have like 4,000. But no, these girls are amazing. We work in prevention, so sexualized violence, sex trafficking, all of this stuff. We rescue these girls, and we put them through an entire rehabilitation education program. We have 2 girls right now who were in the center, little girls when I started working with them, going through high school, college, are now psychologists on staff treating girls coming into the schools. Amazing.
Wow.
Really, really cool.
By the way, are you #me too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not going to go into it, but she's a Me Too also. Annalynne McCord. Yeah. So good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Her new movie is called First We Take Brooklyn. I'm watching. It's in theaters on Friday. Up next, we've got some wild animals with Dave Salamone. Be here.